Here's your Ozzy update for July 10, 2025. I've got two stories for you today, YouTube. First one is from The Sun. This was actually July 7th. Issy Sampson. Ozzy Osbourne completes huge rehab wing with boating lake, spa, and art studio at UK mansion following a final gig. Ozzy Osbourne prepared for his final ever gig in a brand new rehab wing, which is as big as his luxury country mansion and even includes a boating lake, wellness space, and art studio. But money won't be an object for Ozzy 76 as we can reveal that his personal firm made £5,000 per day in his last financial year. Got a picture here. Ozzy and his wife Sharon have built an in-house spa and wellness area. Pretty nice. And here's another view from the front. Welder's house in Buckinghamshire was purchased by Ozzy and Sharon in 1993. The exterior can be seen on Jack Osbourne's Haunted Homecoming miniseries on Discovery Plus. The rocker played at Villa Park on Saturday and is needed to be in the shape of his life after being hit with Parkinson's disease. 3 years ago, Ozzy and his wife Sharon were given the green light by the council to transform their historic Buckinghamshire home to include a new adjoining mega extension solely for the Black Sabbath frontman. Now the Sun can reveal that the rehab wing is as huge as a historic Grade 2 listed home. According to plans, it includes a health and welfare exercise studio, art studio room, pool house orangery, complete with spa and wet room, and a changing area. There's also a terraced area overlooking the vast garden and a new lake that's been built with pictures appearing to show that there are small boats on it. The upstairs area of the new wing also includes an attic space and kitchenette, and the current gym has been extended. To make sure that Ozzy could get fit in privacy, they included a 2.4 meter high fence to keep out prying eyes and an upgrade on the previous CCTV monitoring on the grounds. There's more visitor parking spaces as well, presumably for any professionals and medics looking after Ozzy. Bat and bird boxes have been built around the property, and the lake will provide an area for new wildlife and aquatic creatures. New accounts for Ozzy main firm Monwise Limited reveals that money wouldn't be a problem to such an expensive project. Ozzy took out a £6.35 million director's loan from the firm last year, which shows that the firm is now worth £5.97 million. It paid £445,000 in corporation tax in its last financial year, which means at a 25% tax rate, the firm made around £1.8 million. That's £4,876 profit a day. Ozzy and his Black Sabbath bandmates took to the stage for the final time over the weekend. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the next story we have for you, YouTube, is from The Times. Ozzy Osbourne's masterstroke painting with a band of chimps. This is Jackie Goddard, Alamogordo, New Mexico. As the Prince of Darkness and Godfather of heavy metal, Ozzy Osbourne may have seemed unbeatable when it came to primal, chaotic artistry. Now the newly retired Black Sabbath frontman with a reputation for crazy antics and rabble-rousing has finally met his match. A troop of chimpanzees armed with paintbrushes. Put them together and you have the wildest artistic collaboration of all time, said Dan Matthews of Save the Chimps, who got Osbourne working with primates from the charity's rescue sanctuary in Florida to produce 5 paintings. The artworks, which Osbourne painted the backgrounds and the chimpanzees daubed their designs on top, are up for auction before next week's World Chimpanzees Day. And I'll zoom out here so you can kind of get the whole thing in frame. It's a little hard. There you go. Tattooed Dancer is among the designs named after Osborne's songs. Sable, a chimp, painted the centerpiece. And you can see Ozzy's signature down here. For Osborne 76, who played his farewell concert in Birmingham at the weekend with the original Black Sabbath lineup, the transition from recording studio to art studio has been a form of therapy. He has chronic pain and limited mobility due to spinal injuries and Parkinson's disease. I paint because it gives me peace of mind, but I don't sell my paintings, he said. I've made an exception with these collaborations as it raises money for Save the Chimps, a sanctuary for hundreds of apes rescued from labs, roadside zoos, and wildlife traffickers. Osborne painted the 5 canvases, different colors, then they were shipped to Florida for the chimpanzees to add their flourishes. Each is named after one of his songs or albums: Blizzard of Oz, Electric Funeral, Paranoid, Tattooed Dancer, and Technical Ecstasy. This is Dylan the chimp. Letting it all hang out there. Here's Connor refining his craft. Tonka's final flourish, a daub of red. Got someone coming up from behind over there. He saw the finished works for the first time at the weekend. I brought him a paintbrush used by a chimp as a small gift, and he examined it, looked at their additions to his paintings, and got teary-eyed, said Matthews. It was not the first time Osborne has worked with chimpanzees. This time was less controversial. In 2009, Samsung was forced to pull a television advertisement that featured Osborne with a chimpanzee playing the guitar, which drew complaints from the public and from people for the ethical treatment of animals. Oh no. Some of the 220 chimpanzees at the 150-acre Save the Chimps Refuge located near Fort Pierce are descendants of the NASA space chimps that were used in the early 1960s to test life support systems and to study the effects of space travel before launching the first humans. Ham, the first chimp sent to space, is buried in Alamogordo at the New Mexico Museum of Space History, where Osborne once went to pay his respects during a visit with his son Jack as part of the television series in 2016. Majority of the chimps at the sanctuary were rescued from the Colson Foundation, one of the largest holders of chimpanzees for biomedical research in the U.S. The company laboratory in Alamogordo was closed down in 2002 after repeated animal rights violations, triggering a 9-year operation to relocate them to Florida, where they now live on 12 grassy islands covering 150 acres. Others remained at the Holloman Air Force Base in Alamogordo, said by the National Institutes of Health, NIH, which funded the research on them until 2015 to be too frail to move. The last of them was finally transferred to a sanctuary in Louisiana 2 weeks ago. This is Paranoid, perfected by Janice the chimp. I wonder how much money this is going to bring in. 10% of the chimpanzees at the Save the Chimps choose to paint as part of their program of enrichment activities using non-toxic pigments that they slather onto canvases. It may be a therapy thing for them too, because they have a form of PTSD. We offer activities, get them out of their head and enjoying life, and all pursue that in different ways, Matthew said. Most of them use brushes, some of them use their fingers or lips, and not all the paint ends up on the canvas. Previously, celebrity collaborators have included the singer Bryan Adams. Omega Auctions is taking online bids for the Osborne collection. The reserve price for each is $1,000. If I find the link for that, I will include it in the description. I'll definitely keep up with the story to see how much is made for that charity. But until next time, I'm tired and brain out.